now to our Kindness 101 series, where Steve Hartman and his children share stories built around kindness and character. And the people who've mastered those qualities need a lot of that these days. Today's lesson is called Purpose. This week, we find out how one widower was able to find a new purpose in life from an unlikely source.
Good morning, and welcome to our lesson on
purpose.
And for a definition, we turn now to Emmett at the dictionary desk. Emmett.
Good morning. I've got to give credit to Meryl on this one. Back when she was 6, she came up with the definition for purpose and wrote it on a card which we saved. Meryl, do you want to read it?
Purpose is what you do for other people that makes you unique.
I love that. I love that it's other people and that it's unique to you. Pretty smart for a little first grader. You're a genius.
Well, I got it from my genius mother.
Oh, I would not take that.
Anyway, people find their purpose in lots of ways. It can be through faith or family or even your job. But in this story, we meet a man who found his purpose in a most unusual place. It may be my favorite story ever because there's a lesson in here for anyone in search of purpose.
In a cemetery outside Augusta, Georgia, a loving couple was buried. The wife buried below this white bouquet, the husband buried above in a mound of grief. 82-year-old Dan Peterson says after Mary died, he fell into a deep depression.
What were you living for?
I was trying to figure that out, frankly.
You had no purpose?
No.
Were you just waiting to die?
Yeah.
For 6 months, it was just that bad.
And then one day you go to a grocery store.
It all changed inside this Publix.
Dan was nearing the end of the canned vegetable aisle. He hates grocery shopping, and by all accounts, the expression on his face confirmed his aggravation. But that's when this unapproachable man was approached by a 4-year-old girl named Nora Wood.
In the security footage, you can see Nora randomly reaching out to him. Her mom, Tara, says it was quite embarrassing.
She said, "Hi, old person, it's my birthday today."
Old person?
Old person.
Hi, old person.
She says this to this cranky old man?
Yeah.
And then had the audacity to demand a hug.
I said, a hug? I said, absolutely.
Nora got her hug and then asked her mom to take a picture of her with her new friend.
She zeroed in on him like a missile. And she didn't want anything from him. She just wanted to make him feel loved and give him a hug. And his little lip quivered and he was teared up, and it was just sweet.
And I said, you don't know. This is the first time for quite a while that I've been as happy.
After that, Dan's grin only got wider.
Hi, sweetheart, come in, come in.
Nora started visiting once a week.
So how's my sweetie, huh?
And every time, it was the grocery store all over again.
I knew I was going to get a hug. Oh, it's unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
It's a bridge.
Oh, okay.
Dan does have grandkids of his own, but they're all grown and gone. And Nora does have grandparents, but her mom says this is a completely different kind of bond that almost defies explanation.
She fell asleep holding a picture of them. What?
To Dan, it's equally miraculous, but far less mysterious. He believes Nora is quite literally an angel.
She opened me to a love that I didn't know existed.
When your wife died, you felt like you didn't have any purpose anymore. Do you feel like you have a purpose now?
Of course. Nora. Watching her grow up. I know I made room in my heart for a lot more.
Joining us now, Nora Wood. Welcome.
I'm so glad to be here.
We're so glad to have you.
Nora, how old are you?
I'm 11.
Did you and Dan stay close after my dad's visit?
Yeah, we visited every Sunday. It was very nice seeing him.
Dan died back in 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were at the funeral, front and center. And I know how hard it is to lose somebody, But in the 4 years since, when you look back, what do you think of when you think of him?
I like to think about it in like a happy perspective. There's a picture of him in my room, actually.
Is it the same one that you used to sleep with?
Yeah.
Is it? Why do you think that story touched really the world as much as it did?
Because I think that everyone just wanted a hug. I think everyone thought, wow, he got a hug, now I want a hug. And I'm happy for him.
Thanks for being there for Dan, and thanks for talking to us today.
Of course, I love talking to you.
You know, people are always searching for meaning and purpose. But Nora and Dan show us that this doesn't have to be some grand quest, that the answer may just be a hug away. We'll see you next time.
Until then, stay kind.
I so believe that, a hug away. We all remember that story.
Yes, of
we got
course.
choked up back then. I didn't know that Dan had died.
I know.
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
But 2016 to 2020, when he passed away, he had nothing to live for. He says it sounds like those 4 years were meaningful, deeply so. And
When he says, I know I made room in my heart for a lot more, it almost felt after his wife died, he had closed himself off to any kind of love. And here comes Nora.
Yes.
Here comes Nora.
And that gave him his purpose.
That's right.
It was interesting to hear he had family too, and so did she. But there was this little kid at 4 years old in the grocery store sees, because he did look kind of cranky, but yet she did reach out to him despite all of that.
Yeah.
I love Steve Hartman.
I love every detail of that story.
So
the fact that it was the canned vegetable aisle. Nothing says widower than the canned vegetable aisle.
I do think there's something beyond, because the fact that she just reached out to him at that moment when he needed it the most. There's something about that. There's something to that.
Bravo, Steve Hartman and the kids.
Such a beautiful story, Steve. We love it.